Okay, so we're moving along, and this is a really short one. We're going to talk about the nervous system, and it's involved with behavior a bit, so I thought I would do it. We're going to talk about the vertebrate nervous system, and I've been mentioning the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. So just to give it a better definition, the central nervous system is the brain and the spinal cord together. And then the peripheral nervous system is the cranial nerves, ganglia, and spinal nerves that go out into the rest of the body. And so what happens is your brain has four ventricles, and you might have heard ventricles with the heart. They're just chambers. And that is the cerebrospinal fluid fills that and then goes into the spinal cord. And you have white matter made up of axons, and that's the myelin sheath that you see. And then the gray matter is made of the unmyelinated nerves, which are the cell bodies and dendrites and other parts. And so that's what makes up the brain. So you've heard of gray matter, maybe of white matter, and that's what we're talking about. All right, so I want to spend time on this one because we've already done the brain, really, the central nervous system, talking about the peripheral nervous system. And so that's the stuff on the edges. And it's broken up into the autonomic and the somatic. And the somatic we're not going to really talk about much, but that's the ones that regulate the external environment. Those are the ones that are attached to the muscles. Those are the ones that we control. And then, so when you think about it, move, flex my arm, move my fingers, that is all somatic. You're sending signals, you want to do that. The other one is the autonomic nervous system. And again, this is the internal environment. We talked about the hypothalamus is kind of controlling some of this stuff. But that's involuntary. We really don't have a way of controlling that. We do to some extent. You can calm yourself and slow your heart rate. You can't stop it, which is probably a good thing. I can see a bunch of teenagers sitting around daring each other to stop their heart. There are reasons built in, I guess, so we don't do stupid stuff. But anyway, so then the autonomic system is broken into really three parts. And the one we're not really going to talk about is the enteric. That has to do with the digestive system. That was separated out a while ago. It used to be kind of just left behind. But for our purposes, we want to do the sympathetic and the parasympathetic divisions of the peripheral nervous system. So here is the systems. And the parasympathetic division is on this side, and the sympathetic is on this side. And I'm not going to hold you responsible for the picture, so don't panic. But I do want you to realize what each side is doing. So if you look at what is occurring, one of these is what we call the fight or flight response, and then the other one is the rest and digest. And so what I want to do is you tell me which is the fight or flight, by just looking at what is happening. And so if you look at this, you should be able to see it is the sympathetic division that is actually doing the fight or flight, because dilates the pupil of the eye, your eyes get bigger, helps you see better, inhibits salivary gland secretion. You're not digesting anything at this point. You're shutting that down. Relaxes the lungs so you get more oxygen, so you can make more ATP, accelerates the heart, your blood's beating faster. The stomach and the intestines are slowing down. The pancreas, which has a bunch of enzymes for digestion, is slowing down. Your liver's releasing major glucose. We need sugar. We need to break that stuff down so we can run. And then promotes ejaculation. If you're doing that when you're scared, I don't know. We'll come back to that, I suppose. But then the other one is what we call the rest and digest, and this is what happens when you shut down. So all of a sudden now you see the liver breaking stuff down. You got the activity of the pancreas and the gallbladder, which is releasing bile to help to break down fats. Notice that the lungs are constricting. You don't need as much air. Your heartbeat's slowing. This is why a lot of people, right after you eat, in some countries, they have a period of time where things close down for a couple hours. You have a big lunch, should be the biggest meal of the day, nutrition-wise, and then you rest and digest, and then you get back up and do more work later. In this country, we eat in the car. or at least we used to. Now we just eat alone in the home. I have no friends. Life is different. All right, so again, sympathetic division is fight or flight response. Parasympathetic division is rest or digest. And that's all I really have for you. But this is something that's important with reactions to things that happen. So when you jump, your natural response, if something jumps out at you, your natural response is to back up and run. But there are other people that will actually move forward and and attack. So be careful when you scare people. All right, we'll stop the recording.